Hello, Hillwood.
I'm Kay.
And I'm Kylie, and here's what's happening at HMS. Middle School Charger Night for Central Boys Basketball is Wednesday, January 10th at 8 at Central. Hillwood students get in free.
Central is on the season and undefeated in the district play. Don't miss this chance to cheer on a great team.
Let's dance.
The Hillwood Dance is next Friday, January 13th. The theme is the 1990s.
College Spirit Day is Friday. Wear college gear and rep your school.
Boys basketball is back in action Monday against Fossil Hill.
7th grade plays at home and 8th grade is on the road.
Does this look like something you could do? Hillwood TV is accepting applications for the 2023-2024 crew.
We're looking for anchors, camera operators, and editors.
See Coach Nevitt in room 503 to get an application. Yearbook is also accepting applications for 2023 through 2024.
See the video later in the announcements for details. And that's the news. Here's what else is happening at HMS.
Hello, America. It's come to my attention that over there in Washington, D.C., they're having a little bit of trouble electing a Speaker of the House. Now, as you may know or may not know, the Constitution doesn't specify that the Speaker has to be a member of the House of Representatives, and we've seen some speculation. We've seen people throw out the idea that maybe because they're having so much trouble deciding on a Speaker, they could bring somebody in from outside. Well, I think that's a great idea, and I would like to throw my hat in the ring for Speaker of the House. Let me tell you why I think I'm qualified for this important position. I've been teaching middle schoolers for the last 20 years. Now, if I can sit in a middle school classroom, sit here every year, and keep a couple of hundred young, emotional middle schoolers in line, wouldn't managing 435 reasonable adults in the House of Representatives be easy? I think so. I think so. Middle schoolers are known for being emotional, for having arguments, for struggling to get along, struggling to come to agreements. If I can handle that, I can handle the House of Representatives. I'm used to presiding over arguments, so who is more qualified than me? Another important duty of the Speaker of the House is to assign people to committees. Well, I've been assigning people to groups for years as a middle school teacher. I know that this is a very serious process that requires careful thought and reflection. You get the wrong group of people together, they're not going to get along, maybe they won't get any work done. I know how to handle this. I've done it for years, and with me assigning people to committees, it might be the most productive Congress that we've had in decades, maybe even centuries. Now, another function of the Speaker, a lot of people might not know this, but it's right here on Wikipedia, administers the House audio and video broadcasting system. Who better to do that than me, an AV teacher? C-SPAN will have the best ratings it's ever had. And finally, and maybe most importantly, I already have a gavel. I can use a gavel. I'll bring my own gavel, saving the American taxpayers money. So, to the 435 people sitting in the United States House of Representatives, today I commend you. Congratulations on your recent election, and I hope you'll vote for me, Todd Nevitt, for Speaker of the House.
I went to Texas, so down in Austin. Well, I come from a Longhorn family. Both my parents went to Texas. My uncle and aunt both went to Texas. So I was indoctrinated at a very young age. And really, that was the only place I grew up thinking I was going to go to Texas. And really the only place I considered when I graduated from high school. My favorite class, well, I was a finance major, and it took me a long time until I got to those upper level classes. But really, all the finance classes really kind of clicked with me, and I liked those the best. Well, I probably didn't prepare well. It was the only school I applied for. I know nowadays kids apply for multiple schools, but I don't know what I would have done if I hadn't got accepted. But I don't think I was very prepared. I will say that. When I got down there, it was kind of a eye-opening experience. Once I got there, it was kind of a culture shock for me. Obviously, Texas is a huge school. I remember the day my parents, I went down there and they were dropping me off in the dorm, and I was staying in Jester Hall, which at the time they said it was the world's largest dorm. It had its own zip code. It was about, I don't know, 14 stories high, and I felt like I was moving into a giant hotel, and that was kind of a culture shock for me. The other thing that sticks out is my first day of class. I had a history course that I was taking, a freshman history course. And, I figured out what building it was in, and I went in and I walked through the door, and I was expecting, a classroom. Like that's what I had in high school. It was a giant auditorium. There was 500 students in the auditorium. And I just could not believe that I was going to take a class with 500 other students. So that, just the size of the classes and just the size of the school really took a while to adjust to. And so it took a little while, but I finally got in the swing of things. So craziest tradition. Man, let's see. What would be a crazy tradition? Had a lot of friends that joined the Cowboys. A lot of friends from my high school that went up there, and just the stories they tell me about their initiation, which I probably shouldn't. I probably won't go into too much detail, but they had some crazy traditions that and rituals that they had to go through, but. I think most people kind of are fairly well aware of a lot of the Texas traditions. They're kind of out in the open and on display every Saturday. So yeah, just the adjustment. Of course, every college student's gonna have to learn to live on their own and live outside their home and not have mom and dad to rely on. Day in and day out, telling you to study, fixing your food, and just making those basic decisions that you have to make once you go to college. So that was a big adjustment, and then the big class sizes, and another big one. And I tell my students this today is just learning how to study, learning how to learn, because in college, there's the professors don't really teach like we teach here at Hillwood. They lecture, they talk fast, and then they tell you to go read the couple of chapters in the book and learn it yourself. So learning how to learn was my biggest challenge when I was a freshman, and I don't think I really figured it out until almost 2 years in. Once I figured it out, I really loved college from then on, and it wasn't as hard. But you just developing your own method to study and being disciplined enough, because mom and dad aren't telling you to study, being disciplined enough to make yourself do it when you're supposed to, and being responsible for your grades. That was like a 2-year adjustment for me to figure it all out. Just the freedom, being independent. Of course, Austin is a great place to be young and independent. So many things you can do outside of school that I still enjoy going back for football games and just hanging around Austin. It's just a cool place. So.